Tomorrow is all about revenge. Tomorrow is all about vengeance. I know in life, like football, you cannot allow your emotions to overrun you. Likewise, revenge is a great fuel, but it's a terrible emotion to have. But that's the sense I have with Una Emery. Do I think Aston Villa and Arsenal, there's a rivalry, or either team beyond the obvious are thinking about each other? Do I think Mikel Arteta is keen to get one over on the former Arsenal manager? Do I think Emery is aggrieved that Mikel Arteta, is doing what he's doing at Arsenal and has been provided with certain luxuries that at the time of Emery during our time, a bit of grief to not have that? No, I don't. Beyond the obvious of either manager wanting to get 3 points, obviously, I'm sure Aston Villa, they want to prove that getting into the Champions League was no fluke. We can see what Emery's developing. We've seen the great existing players. You've seen the quality that they've added. You saw them obviously beat West Ham 2-1. They're littered with quality. They're good from set pieces. You saw Onana score from a header. Onana, Telemans, John McGinn, Bailey, the list goes on. Aston Villa have a number of quality players. Our very own former goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. As I said, I'm sure they're keen to prove it was no fluke. We've all seen the record with Arsenal and Aston Villa of late. They have our number. Now, going into this, it is a new season, so it's a clean slate. What I want to see is where I want to pick up where we left off last season. I want our home form and our away form to be almost, identical or better. Away from home, we were great. Aston Villa was one of the games we slipped up. Now, we lost on, I haven't even looked at the table from last year, but we know it was 2 to 3 or so points that we missed out on the Premier League. We know we can't win every game, but every point counts. And it has to start against Aston Villa. Our first 5 games are crucial. Aston Villa are flying under Emery. Wolves, we beat them, obviously. We know we've got Manchester City. We know we've got Spurs, and we've got Brighton, who are a great team. And I think their new exciting manager is going to do great things. The 5 games. Now, there's 30 odd. Still at that point, there'd be 30 odd other games, but we need to get 3 points. Obviously, I would love a clean sheet, but the main thing is 3 points. As a selfish fan, I want revenge, and I want to keep this. I want to build up some momentum and form. Now, going into the game, obviously, both teams, I'm sure both managers would agree, neither team is probably at their fit best and flying, and maybe the transfer market. Probably Emery's more happier than Mikel Arteta on that front. So I'm not expecting it to be amazing, but I am expecting it to be a tough game. I am expecting it to be a typical British Premier League game where the fans are making not enough noise. It is an evening fixture as well. And Arsenal, as we know, from what we've done in the last 2 years, we've got a target on our backs. Everyone wants to be the team to beat us. Now, we know there is a massive debate about Mikel Arteta and Unai Emery, who is the better manager. Again, if people say Emery's a better manager, he's been in the game longer. He's won trophies. He's done all those things. Equally, in terms of the new school, if people say Mikel Arteta, fair enough. What I would say is I think Aston Villa is a better fit for Unai Emery than Arsenal was. I do think there were some luxuries, in terms of the structure, in terms of being able to overall player power. There was a lot of luxuries that Arteta has that that Emery doesn't or didn't have at the time, especially on the recruitment front. But ultimately, I think Mikel Arteta is a better fit for the football club. These are the talking points that are going to dominate. On the front foot, we know they've got quality. Paul Torres, it's only one Premier League game, but in terms of build-up play, I think he's had the most carries or second to most carries and the most passes. It's deeper than that, but if you stop him, Kai Havertz, that's your man. You stop their build-up play with him, you somewhat cripple them. Of course, if we need to learn a lesson from last season, it would be put the ball in the back of the net. You can compete, you can win your duels, you can dominate on periods, but you need to kill the games before they kill you. I can't talk for Aston Villa. As I said, and they've got numerous quality players. We know what Ollie Watkins is on. We know what they did to us in the 2 games that we played them last season. We know they're a quality team. But for Arsenal Football Club, last season is irrelevant. We need to earn that right to win. We need to earn the right to be spoken of title contenders and potentially Premier League winners again. Now, there's going to probably be a lot of talking points. The bench, is Eddie and Nketiah going to be involved? Mikel Arteta was quite elusive on that. Fabio Vieira, again, Mr. Bench Boy. He's been linked with Porto. In fact, David Ornstein's come out and said he might go on loan to that side, provided certain other pieces to the puzzle fall into place. So one wonders, what is our bench going to look like? Shout out to the young Ethan. It'd be lovely for him to get some minutes. You'd imagine he'd be on the bench. Don't even know what we're going to do with Reece Nelson. Obviously, Aaron Ramsdale probably will be on the bench because there's nothing happening at this moment in time where he's concerned, but it is something to consider. Now, the biggest talking point I would say with Arsenal starting 11 would be Zinchenko. On one hand, I feel he is a bit scapegoated. On the other hand, I feel, we won the game against Wolves. He deserves the right to play. There there has been moments where, you know, games you expect him to get destroyed, he's done well. But at the same time, yes, I do think defensively Zinchenko's a liability. And, you know, him up against Leon Bailey, I think is keeping every Arsenal fan up at night on a Friday, people. So if, you know, we're able to start Timber, I'd love to see that. Before I read Mikel Arteta's press conference, I was of the belief that, you know, I still think he would play Zinchenko, but if Timber or Calafiori, either one can give me an hour, you know, literally an hour of football, and then whoever starts comes off, then fine. But based on Mikel Arteta's press conference, check out the live stream on my main channel where we spoke about this. I'm inclined to believe that, you know, Timber, at best, it will be similar minutes to what he got against Wolves. Calafiori, I mean, he didn't make his debut yet. Maybe with an extra an extra week training and, you know, things of that ilk, he might get a run in the side. I'm very naive if I do believe that. So I'd imagine Zinchenko starts. If it was up to me, it would be Timber or Calafiori, but I'd imagine David Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, and obviously Zinchenko. Left wing is a bit of a peculiar one because, you know, Martinelli, don't think he was as bad as people made out, but he is struggling at the moment. Of course, Trossard probably is the best impact sub we've got in the team, even though he's a lot more than that. I want to be respectful to him. But based on the game, you know, Trossard's a bit cuter. He's a bit clever. He retains possession a bit better. Do you play Trossard for an hour or so and then you bring on Martinelli when you need to stretch the side? I'm not too sure in that regard. So yeah, I'd assume, well, my starting 11 would be, you know, Timber or Calafiori. But what I assume we'll see is Zinchenko at left back, Benjamin White, Saliba, Gabriel, of course, David Raya. Moreno, it seems like progress is being made. It's probably wishful to expect him to be part of the Aston Villa game in any capacity. So I would say, again, I would go with Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. Of course, Saka picks himself. Kai Havertz is the man of the moment. On the left-hand side, I'm going to remain with Martinelli. If not that, you could go for Trossard. Potentially, Gabriel Jesus could even be an option. But I'm inclined to believe the same starting 11 that won against Wolves will be the same team that, you know, starts the game in Birmingham. So hopefully we get 3 points, continue the good form, continue our away form. The most important thing is 3 points. But if we could score some goals, keep a clean sheet, everybody's a winner chicken dinner. It will be a tough game. We know the talking points that will happen. Oh, you know, Emery got one over on Arsenal again. So we'll have to see. And, you know, they've obviously got Emi Martinez. So hopefully we get 3 points. My prediction, I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal. I'm going to say Aston Villa to take the lead, us to, you know, take the lead in the first half, us to equalize on the stroke of half time, and a late winner from probably Kai Havertz or hopefully Martinelli or Gabriel Jesus, the ones that need a goal per se. So that's all I've got to say in relation to the Aston Villa Arsenal game. Let me know your thoughts if you've got any. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the main channel.